De stora vattenflödena som kommit de senaste...
Raserade banvallar har tvingat SJ att stoppa all tågtrafik till och från Mellansverige.
I Järkvissle några mil från Sund.
Och människor har även idag evakuerats från sina hem.
We've all seen pictures from flooded areas on TV. People on rooftops rescued by helicopters, cars floating away in the water. The reality is seldom that dramatic. It's more common to see the water rise inch by inch, slowly but surely closing in on our property. Even if your life isn't in danger, it is still a catastrophe, standing in knee-high water, unable to stop the oncoming disaster. To start building walls of sandbags takes time. It's heavy and requires many helpful volunteers. On top of it all, there will be a lot of sand to take away when it's all over. Now there is a solution at hand. The Swedish company Noaq has developed the Tubewall, a mobile flood barrier so light it can be handled by just 2 persons. The Noaq Tubewall consists of air-filled tubes which are linked together like a chain. The Tubewall is available in 3 heights: 50 centimeters, 70 centimeters and 1 meter. The tube can rapidly be filled with air. A 10-meter section can be filled within 5 minutes. The tubes are kept in place by a skirt, which is pressed to the ground by the rising water. A 75 centimeter high by 10 meter long tube section weighs only 50 kilos, but it is anchored by more than 10 tons of the flooding water itself. All you need in order to use a tube wall is a free strip of land between the house and the water. How wide that strip of land has to be and other measurements can be downloaded from the Noaq website. The ground doesn't need to be even. Roads and lawns are fine, as well as natural ground. Avoid putting the tube wall on gravel or on mud without any vegetation. The end of the tube wall can be attached to the wall of the house or a stone wall. It can also be pulled towards higher ground where the water doesn't reach. Be aware of wells and underground drainage systems through which the water can seep in. Try to drag the defense line behind such wells and pipes. Any alternative ways for the water to get to the house must be plugged. A tube wall is built in sections. 2 persons can handle the smaller and medium-sized models, while the bigger sizes need 4 to 6 persons. Roll out the tube section approximately to where it is supposed to be placed and adjust its position by pulling it on the ground. Keep it straight while pulling it so as not to get creases on the skirt. Every tube has 2 or 3 valves. Open the valve by pressing down the lid inside the valve and twisting it. A blower using ordinary 220 volt current fills the tube with air. Continue blowing until the blower sounds strained. This is an indication that the pressure level is okay. With this type of blower, there is no risk of the pressure getting too high. Close the valve by pressing the lid inside and twisting it the other way. Repeat this procedure with the next tube. Carry, roll out, fill with air. If the position of the tube has to be adjusted, pull it along the ground to the right position. If it needs to be moved diagonally, pull it away in a straight line and then back to the desired position, making an elongated S-curve. This is to avoid the skirt getting folds or creases. The tubes can be linked in a straight line or at an angle up to 90 degrees in either direction. The ends of the tubes must be pressed together tightly, especially if they are linked at an angle. The tube sections are zipped together using a special joint cover. All models use the same joint cover. Tubes of different sizes can also be joined together in this way. If the tubes are joined at an angle, you might need two joint covers since there will be a longer distance between the zippers. If you have excess cover, just fold it neatly and place a heavy object on top to keep it fixed. The air-filled tubes themselves should not be joined to each other. The eyelets at the ends of the tubes are only to be used in special situations. By attaching air tubes, all the tubes can be joined into one volume of air. In this way, the air pressure of the whole tube wall needs only to be controlled from one point. A pressure guard connected to a compressor does the job. If air is leaking somewhere, lowering the pressure guard will react and the pressure will be restored. Now there is only one thing missing, a pump. A certain amount of water leaking in under the wall is to be expected. Water which has seeped into the earth will also ooze out onto the dry side. Rain and small brooks can also increase water levels and must be pumped out. Now we can relax. Dismantling of the tube wall is done in reverse order. First, take away the air tubes, then the joint covers. By removing the mouthpiece of the blower, the air will be sucked out, thereby emptying the tube of air as fast as it was filled. As the tube decreases, push it towards the skirt side. At the same time, fold in the yellow outer edge of the skirt. Now all the material is lying on the drainage layer, and since it cannot be folded, the whole section is rolled up. After strapping it, the tube section is carried back to the car. The lawn is still there in good condition, and so is the house.